Hello again, Mo-NaN back for another video today about, let's talk about the MTG meta a little bit more. I actually wanted to talk about the meta because I did some research last night. I was up to like 3 a.m. like looking at MTG top 8 and looking at different deck techs and different ideas. Even went to MTG Goldfish and kind of did some digging and stuff. And I've noticed there's a lot of different decks that are out there, which I love. I love how diverse it is. I love that anybody could probably come up with anything of some type of substantial and turn it into something fucking amazing. I feel like that it's going to happen. That I feel like there is going to be a lot of different decks. Now, for me, I've come up with a few ideas, but there are a few different decks that I didn't see really make a big splash, but I can't wait to see if something like that works. I've seen there really isn't. I mean, there's not many Simic decks. I would love to make a Simic deck. I've been working on a Simic deck for a while now because I feel like Teamer is cool, but I feel like everybody does like a Teamer energy type of deal, and I really don't want to do Teamer energy. I want to do like a Simic type of idea. So I've been doing some research on that because I feel like that'd be good. And a green Stompy deck that I've had, but I might turn it green white because I have a green white, I have a green white, and I have a red white. I have these two ideas, and I'm thinking red white tokens feels like that would be. I think that would be an amazing deck. I just think I'm missing a few pieces. So I just have to get a few pieces for that. But see, that's why I've been fiddling around with some stuff because I feel like red white. I think Boros tokens could actually work. I think Boros tokens could work very well, especially with Saram's expertise. I feel like that and the Honor Crop Captain, I think it's called, where when it attacks, all attacking creatures get +1, and then you have Always Watching, which makes it even better. Glory Bound Initiate. So for the Boros tokens, there's a lot of ways to actually make enough tokens, but then also have red for like Artifact Hate and Creature Hate, which also works very well. And then like white has tons of life gain, creatures, all types of stuff. I mean, throwing 2 Anointed Processions in that deck would probably just throw it off the fucking top. I was thinking the same thing about a green white one for a Silencia type of deck. Using the green version of Earthshaker Kenra. And then Always Watching. I think Ajani's Oath of Ajani would work very well, even though it's an enchantment and you may not have many um planeswalkers in that deck. I feel like that deck could still be very viable, especially with the Oath of the Johnny. I mean, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and then you can, flip that with an Always Watching. So, that's an extra boost with Vigilance. So, makes your creatures a lot bigger. There's a lot of good artifact hate. There's a lot of destruction in that, and a lot of creature hate in those two, which actually could very work. I think Hour of Devastation would be a great sweeper for that deck. Even, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even Fumigate and things like that, because you can even turn that into like a green white ramp deck. I have a red green ramp deck I was thinking about too. That seems a little interesting. But we'll get back to that later. Let me see what else. A blue black control I have not seen yet. I have not seen a good blue black control. I have not seen any green stompy like I had just mentioned. Any good Silencia ideas yet? Because I mean, green white tokens was like everything for a while. I don't think it's very viable, but I feel like there could be something there. I've been working on that. I just need to get a lot of the Hour of Devastation cards. Let me see what else. There's been a lot, so I've just been doing a lot of fiddling and stuff. I do want to come with a control deck. I do want to use an aggro deck, but I want to try to use colors that I have not seen often. So, because I want to work on something a little different. I'm always trying to do something different. Like I don't ever, because people say they use that term net decking, which I guess is basically you take a deck that you've seen and then you copy that same deck. Me, I don't do that. I take the idea and a concept of that deck and maybe even a few cards that actually synergize very well with the whole deck, and then I tweak it to my specifications. I do that all the time. That's how I've always done anything when it comes to any type of deck, you know. So I've always done that. So I've always come up with something interesting. I'm always thinking ahead of time. I'm always looking at leaks, sadly, only because it keeps my mind racing, and just in case, like, if somebody's explaining the card, it'll be like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Or I know, you know what I'm saying? I know what it does. I know the mana cost, or, you know, whatever else. And, you know, it helps me better understand and everything. And um, so I've been trying to do that. So I have just tons and tons of, like, decks. So I've been really trying to sit down and debate what kind of deck that I want to, what I really want to make. I had an Etherborn deck that I thought would be amazing. I just felt like there was something off about it. There was just something off about it, and I just had to deconstruct it because I was like, there's something off about it and it doesn't work. Since the new set is out, I haven't gotten any of the new cards either to even make my red deck I was working on for the last few months, actually. Like, people may not know that, but I have been trying to make a red deck wins deck for a very long time, and I was very, 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 very close to getting there. I still kind of am. So I have some of the new cards, but I haven't got a lot of them because, you know, everybody needs play sets of shit, and so I need to go and do that, and work on that. So I'm very excited to start doing some deck teching, to start coming up with some stuff. I have my trusty Magic notebook here, you know, and I keep all my deck techs, all my ideas, every piece of garbage card, you know, that I use. Like, I try to keep all types of track of everything. I threw a lot of the shit away because it's like a lot of the cards is like a card that I need, and whenever I get them, just scratch them off the list. Because I usually only trade and want cards that I'm going to use. I won't trade cards that I know I'll probably use in something. I'll trade anything else that I don't have any idea, or I just don't need it. There are cards like that all the time. So I do that sometimes. I will always just come up with cards that I don't, you know, that I'll be like, oh, okay, this is cool, but I'll use something, you know, but I'll probably use it out. Because, see, I feel like there are so many different cards that can be used for something, even shitty cards that people say, and I'm like, because trust me, I have a lot of stuff, but I also use those for my, like, promptu popper ideas, because I like coming up with, like, random popper ideas. Who knows if that card, like, I got a multiple of this Naga from the new set from Hour of Devastation. It's just a 3-mana 3/3 for green. That's all it is. But a 3-mana 3/3 still is viable in some ideas. In my opinion, I could use that. I could turn that to a 4/4 with trample. I can turn that to an 8/8 with trample. I could, you know, use it to emerge something. I attack and I emerge. I could, you know, I just use all types of cards for all different types of purposes. So, and I've always been that person that I just can be resourceful. Even if I don't have, like, the money for a certain card, I will find an alternative that I feel like might work better for it. Like, that's how I've always kept my shit budget. I've always done that. But I haven't gotten to play test, and I haven't gotten to do anything like that, so it's really hard for me to want to build a deck and not have me test it against somebody. I know people, like, do that, and then they go to the stores, but it's just like, it's nerve-wracking, but, you know, who knows? I'll get it all figured out. But other than that, I kind of wanted to talk about that, about the meta, about all these different decks that I have. I'm excited. I can't wait to make some more. Hopefully everybody will, you know, like and subscribe. I'm going to be talking more Magic now. I think I've kind of done talking about the world and myself. I might as well talk about what I love the most, and that's my Magic, nigga. Yeah. So I'm gonna end this one. I'll probably end up having another video here soon. So thank you guys, and Mo-NaN out.